turning up the heat. T-Wil on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Wil, T-Wil, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart with the soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be. T-Wil, T-Wil, taking flight. Falcons and Braves, yeah, we're feeling right. So bring that energy, let the city resonate. With T-Wil on the mic, we're gonna celebrate.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, 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 ATL sports fans. Welcome, Falcon fans. Welcome, everyone, to the T-Wil and Deboe Vibes Thursday night throwback. We got my brother Eric Parker here and Deboe Vibes.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, fellas, y'all doing well?
Yeah, man. Everything's going good, bro. Everything's good, man. I don't know what the hell was going on. My iPad was doing some crazy ass update, and as I was trying to get on, so I had to wait for the update to happen and just update it. So that's what I'm saying. My apologies for the delay, fellas. What's going on with y'all?
Cool. I didn't even know you was there. I ain't pay attention to the thing at the bottom. I was like, did he get back?
Yeah, man. Your boy came through. For what I'm saying, Thursday night throwback. Shit.
Yeah, that was up.
Thursday night throwback. So hey, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to the T-Wil Deboe Vibes show. We got our special guest, Mr. Eric Parker here. We'll get into a litany of topics. First and foremost will be the ones that got away. Fellas, I know we've all had that one girl that just got away. You know what I mean? And in the same vein, we're talking about maybe the free agents that got away, or the people, the players that we, as Atlanta sports franchises, traded away and maybe shouldn't have. We'll get into that tonight. We'll get into Mr. Kirk Cousins and his comments on the quarterback show. We'll get into that a little bit. And it's, that's the latest talk everybody's talking about. Then last but not least, we'll touch on those Atlanta Braves who are playing right now. Score, the A's are up 3-1, or maybe they're not. Oh, nope, it's now tied as Jerickson Profar just hit a home run. So it's now 3-3. But we'll get into those Braves as well. We got Silk Legacy in the building. What up, T-Wil, Deboe, and Eric? Yeet, get some. What's going on? How Silk Legacy? Hopefully all is well. All right, fellas. The one that got away, we've all experienced it, whatever caused it. These are Atlanta players or former Atlanta players that went on to do great things, and, they got away. So, first and foremost, does anybody know a player named a Mr. Brett Favre? I'm sure we all do, right? Mr. Brett Favre,
yeah, for sure,
was once an Atlanta Falcon. Basically, the Falcons traded Brett Favre to the Green Bay Packers because they didn't see him as their long-term quarterback solution. Wow. And wanted to capitalize on his trade value. Despite drafting him in the second round, the Falcons viewed him as a project player with potential, but also with some character concerns. They ultimately decided to trade him for a first-round pick, which they used to draft running back Tony Smith. Deboe, Eric, let's talk about Mr. Brett Favre. You think the Falcons made a mistake there? Or
No.
Hell no.
He would have still been a drunk if he was in Atlanta.
There's no way.
Show up the games drunk.
Yeah, there's no way he would have had a career here that we had in Green Bay. He had to get up out of here, bro. That's why I call him Buckhead Brett.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not even hating on him, but I don't think this was the right environment for him. It's some people that just got to go somewhere else to thrive, and I think that was the case with Brett. I think it's too much of a party.
Eric Parker and Deboe Vibes. Are you saying that Brett was too close to the bottle? Are you saying that that he was always with drink in hand? Is that what you guys are suggesting?
We're not saying that. He said that.
He said it. and he was in the bottle, not with the bottle.
Yeah, he was mad inside the bottle.
Yeah, Brett used to be lit, and like I said, I ain't got nothing against Brett. That was just that at that time in his life, Brett was a party animal. And this is not the. I don't think if Brett had went to New Orleans, I believe he would have had the same issue. It's too much of a party environment for Brett. I think going to Green Bay was just what he needed. It's not a party environment. He had a chance to buckle down and do what he was supposed to be doing.
Right.
I don't think that happens here.
So it sounds like you guys are saying that there's some players that other environments are conducive to them succeeding, whereas Atlanta being a party town, you'd have to be almost more disciplined to play here. Is that kind of what we're saying here, Eric and Deboe?
Then back then, yeah, I don't think that's the case now. I think you can pretty much strike up a party anywhere now. But
Right.
I
All right.
think back then, yeah, I don't think this was the right environment for Brett.
All right. So on this move, trading away Brett Favre, we give it a thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah. We're good. We're
Yeah,
good. All right. Next, we got Mr. Deion Sanders. Everybody knows who prime time is. I'm assuming we all remember the first time we saw prime time grace the airwaves. This guy was phenomenal coming out of college. He was as advertised. He was everything he said he was and more. The Atlanta Falcons did not resign Deion Sanders primarily because they were unwilling to offer him the contract he desired and felt he deserved, leading him to sign with the San Francisco 49ers. Other factors, such as the Falcons perceived a lack of commitment to building a championship caliber team, and Sanders' desire to pursue a championship elsewhere also played a role in his departure. Now, Eric and Deboe, this was not Arthur Blank's Falcons. These were Rankin Smith's Falcons,
Right.
and they were a little different, as I do not think that their priority was winning. It goes on to say there was a financial disagreement. The Falcons were reportedly more frugal than other teams, and Sanders, a top tier player, sought a more lucrative deal than they were willing to offer. Lastly, Sanders openly expressed his desire to play for a team that could compete for a Super Bowl, and he didn't believe the Falcons were in a position to do that at the time, according to the Falcoholics. So, guys, let's get into it. Deion Sanders obviously was a Hall of Fame, worldwide, once in a generation talent, maybe even once in two generational talents. Just unfortunately way too big for the Rankin Smith Falcons back then. As I can attest to, they weren't interested in winning so much as they were just filling seats. Eric Deboe, you guys are around my age. Talk about this. Am I wrong here, or give me your thoughts on this?
I mean, Dion is documented. Dion said he wanted to stay at Atlanta Falcon.
Right,
He wanted to be here.
right.
But he, you know what I'm saying? But he, you know what I'm saying, outlined what you just outlined, Rankin Smith and ownership, they weren't willing to sign the big bucks. So here comes the 49ers swooping on in. Ada Barlow and 49ers shit. If y'all want this dude, we'll take him.
Yeah,
And then they swooped in, gave him the money. And 6 months later, he's a Super Bowl champion.
yeah,
Well, not 7, probably longer than that, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, man. I mean, people, when you look at the magnitude of things that Dion did in just 5 years, and people still consider we're not well, you know what I'm saying? It's subjective, but some people consider him being to be the best Falcon ever. He was only here for 5 years.
hmm,
But the things that this man did in that number 21 Falcon uniform, there's things that every Atlanta Falcon fan will remember forever. Especially his first punt return. Well, not first punt return. The game he had against the Rams where he returned a punt, you know what I'm saying, for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? This man played for the Braves and the Falcons in the same damn game, in the same day.
just
You know what I'm
phenomenal.
saying?
Just
So you see
phenomenal.
what you see all the things this man did done not just for the Falcons, but for the city of Atlanta, for the culture. Unfortunately, business got a hold of it. They didn't want to pay the man, so he had to go. But it's documented. This dude straight up said, "Man, I want to be Atlanta Falcon." He said, "I hate to leave Atlanta,
Yeah,
but hey, you know what I'm saying? Money talks, BS walks." So he ended up at 49er, and rest is history, unfortunately.
Amen. Amen. Eric, give me your thoughts on this. I mean,
I
look,
was pissed when that happened.
Hell
I,
yeah,
I,
everybody was pissed. Yeah, for sure.
I was mad as hell when that happened, but I think it had something to do with some off the field shit too. I don't think it was just what what they gonna tell you on there. I think it
Uh,
was some
yeah, no, see, I didn't know about that.
shit too.
Let me ask you a
well,
question. Let me ask you. Hold on. You just said something interesting, bro. You just said something I had no idea. I'm not privy to any off-field issues Dion had when he was in Atlanta.
Nah, it wasn't like he was it wasn't like a character flaw or nothing like that. But I mean, I heard rumors of shit going on that with him and Dominique, like they both was like, yeah, they gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh wow.
well, mm, wow. Okay.
Yeah, bro. That's interesting, bro.
I'm gonna phrase it like this. I'm gonna phrase it like this, and I hope you can pick up what I'm putting down. This is the South where they like their African Americans humble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get what
Can,
I'm saying?
yeah.
You really get what I'm saying? They don't want
Yeah.
them outspoken. They don't want them outspoken. And there is a tapestry, a common tapestry woven throughout this presentation that you will see. And that is the minute that folks start to talk, the
They're
minute
out. Yeah, they're out here.
African Americans start to make noise,
Yeah.
you'll notice a pattern.
Yeah.
Right?
They gotta go.
Okay.
I got you.
Eric, is that kind of what you're alluding to, or no? Is that a part of it? Give
I
me.
know some nightclub shit. I don't know if it was necessarily that. That probably had something to do with it too. But I heard it was some nightclub shit. But I don't know exactly what went on with the club or whatever the fuck. But
Are you talking about the one with Fred Two Cars, that strip club? Are you talking about
yeah,
that
yeah.
with Andrew Jones and all of? So they were involved in that because that was around that
That's
time.
what I heard. I mean, of course, I wasn't there, so I don't know how true any of that is. But I heard that that had something to play in with him and Dominique.
I
But
mean, it could have. It was a popular club at the time. It could have, but I mean, it's unfortunate that a talent as big as Dion, we just couldn't keep him. By the way, we got Yuri in the chat. My man
Yuri,
Yuri is in the building. T-Will, Eric, and Deboe, what's good? What's going on, Yuri? Hopefully
Yuri,
you're
Yuri.
doing well, man.
Hey,
And
let me take a pause for the cause, man. Big time shout out to Yuri, man. Yuri came on to my 90, well, me, my brother, and Miss Angie 90 show yesterday, man, to talk about his time at UNLV and talking about his time in Vegas. And when I told you, man, that was a great show, man. Yuri, man, that's one of the best times I've had, bro. Just going down memory lane and seeing things from his lens as a UNLV student. But more important than that, man, his side, you know what I'm saying, like his way of perceiving Las Vegas. And yeah, man, Yuri, man, double salute to you, bro. Great conversations yesterday, man. A lot of laughs, man. A lot of good times, bro. And hopefully be the first of many, bro.
definitely, let me tell you something. Everybody loves Yuri. Yuri is one of those rare entities that even though he's in the limelight a lot, very genuine person.
Very, extremely, for sure.
Extremely genuine person, extremely approachable. I mean, you can't help but love. If you don't love Yuri, something's wrong with you. I just put it that way. If you have an issue with Yuri, something's wrong with you. Great person. I have nothing bad to say about him. Genuine. Shit, I want to be Yuri when I grow up. Damn it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dion wanted to stay. They didn't. Signed, and the rest is history. Dale Murphy,
Hold
19.
on, no. Hold on.
Mhm.
T-Will, you do know your input is appreciated. You're going
yeah,
through this question, but you're not giving your input. You can ask me and Eric
Oh,
what you
okay.
think, bro.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
This is, I mean, you're just going through what we would like to know your thoughts, bro.
Okay. Um, I was hurt when Dion left. I mean, look it. I have loved the Falcons since day one, and I'll be honest, fellas. I was trying not to be negative. I'm not a fan of Rankin Smith at all, at all, at
Mhm.
all,
oh yeah,
because
no.
Right.
anytime there was a little bit of progress, it was 3 steps back because he refused to sign anybody. Okay, if you
Mhm.
anybody that was around during that time, you can ask. I've never been a fan of Rankin Smith. I love Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank compared to Rankin Smith
No,
is
day and night, bro. Day and night.
it's like a brand new Bentley compared to a 1932 Get Out and Push. It just not and again, no disrespect to them because they didn't have to bring the Falcons here, so I definitely have love and appreciation for them. But I just to be honest, I am not a fan of the Smiths at all. I'm just
All right.
not
All right.
because it seemed like they were unwilling to do certain things. Look, the Falcons were there. 91, they were there. You got the too legit to quit. If you'd have just built onto that team,
Mm-hmm.
dude, that 91 team was a squad. And
Oh, for sure. Hell yeah.
we needed a few more pieces. And you refused to do it. So, for me, just not a fan of the Smiths. It's a shame that when you look at the talent that the certain teams have lost, it's just a shame. But you don't let a player like Dion get away. That's the bottom line. You don't. You do
Right.
everything you can to keep him. You do everything you can to build around him. And to me, the Smiths are kind of like the Florida Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like every 7 or 8 years the Marlins are really good and they go to a World Series and win, and then like the next year they're terrible because they trade all their players and they go back and do it all over again. That was kind of like not that the Falcons ever got to the Super Bowl, but that was kind of like the Smiths approach. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wasn't a fan of them. I hated to see Dion go. The hardest game to watch was because I went to the game in '94 when Dion came back to face the Falcons. When Andre Rison and Dion got into that fight on the field. And I just remember the 49ers were unstoppable that year. And they gave us the business. But
You
yeah,
went to, you went to that game?
I did. I did. I was there live in what was that? That was the Georgia Dome. That was Georgia Dome, I think. Yeah, that was the
Mm.
Georgia. That wasn't Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. That was Georgia Dome. But yeah, we got Ryan from the Birdcage in here. What's good, fellas? Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
T-Will is next.
Ron, what's going on with your boy? Ron, the historian, man. What's going on with your boy?
How you doing? How are you doing? Hey Ryan, if you want to join us, I'm gonna drop the link in here. Ryan's a historian. It's only fair with the subject matter. I'm gonna drop the link, Ryan. If you can join, fine. If not, I understand. I know it's late. But yeah, man. No, I just I hated to see that. There's like Dale Murphy was hurt, so I get why you couldn't sign him. I didn't necessarily like that one because I've loved the Braves all my life, but I get why you couldn't sign Dale Murphy, and I get why you traded him. You had justice waiting in the wings, but this one kind of hurt. So we're going to go on. Braves traded Dale Murphy to the Phillies in 1990 because the production had declined due to his knee issues, and the team wanted to open up a spot for a younger player, David Justice, in right field. Murphy himself also initiated the trade, seeking a change of scenery and a potential contract extension. Ryan says Rankin wasn't that bad. Lies. I'm telling he was tight as a mice. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, because he was worse. He was bad. Um, I don't really have anything to say about Dale Murphy going to the Phillies because, look, he was past his prime. I hated to see it because he was such an Atlanta legend, but if I'm being honest, he was past his prime and it was time for him to go. And sometimes you got to do that and make a move. Uh, hey, Eric, Deboe,
I was
thoughts on
gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
I think
brother.
it
I
was
did.
time for him to
Yeah.
go anyway. I wasn't really mad about that. I mean, everybody loves Dale Murphy, but I don't think him sticking around after that would have did anything great. I think, and then like it said on the thing, he was seeking to leave too. So I have it. I think we had
Debo?
his best year.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Debo, how you feel about
No, we should have kept for 10 more years.
it? Ha! He said that just to be damn difficult. All right. Let's get to David Jets because this one's good. Because
Mm-hmm.
the reason they say they traded him, I don't think is the reason they traded him. Okay? And we all know what this is about, but we're going to get into it. The Atlanta Braves traded David Justice to the Cleveland Indians in 1997, primarily to clear salary
Mm-hmm.
and acquire a more cost effective player in Kenny Lofton. The Braves also traded Marquise Grissom in the same deal. The Braves needed to manage their payroll, and Justice, along with Grissom, had large contracts, while Lofton was a free agent after the 1997 season. Now, gentlemen, this is going to get fun because if you remember in 1995,
Mm-hmm.
when the Braves were playing the Cleveland Indians,
Mm-hmm.
and the Braves were in Cleveland and coming back home, Dave Justice said Atlanta fans need to come out and show their support. You guys have gotten complacent. Okay, you take things for granted. We need you to come out and make some noise. And David Justice, being the wrong hue to make that statement, received a lot of flack, right? Because again, the South likes their African Americans warm and cuddly and non confrontational. And this was viewed as very confrontational. Now, even though Justice made these statements, guess what? He backed it up. In 1995, Game 6, Justice hit the deciding home run to catapult the Atlanta Braves into their first championship. However, in 1997, he was traded. Now, a lot of folk basically said that, look, when you made that statement, Justice, you were out of here. I tend to agree with them. Guys, give me your thoughts.
You can go, Eric.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was shut up and play ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I mean, there's no reason to try to figure anything else out, but that's the reason. Yeah, shut up, boy, and play ball. When you see you can't be outspoken, you can't give your opinion, you can't do none of that. Particularly 30 years ago.
you. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
like you said, when you're a different hue, you were expected to go out there and perform and not speak. You know what I'm saying? There's an old analogy back in the day when you know what I'm saying, where someone of a different complexion said something. There'll be other individuals that who will come back, say shut up and just bounce the ball.
Yeah. Shut up and dribble.
Yeah, shut up and dribble.
Shut up and dribble.
So
And to your point, Debo, that's exactly what it was. Like what was funny is Dave Justice was 100% right. Okay. Make no mistake about it. 1995. So the Braves went to World Series in 91. They went in 92. 93, they were defeated by the Phillies because they won 104 games and they just got tired. 94, I believe, was the strike season, and 95. And so by 95, the Braves fans were kind of used to it. They weren't as passionate anymore, and they were not coming out in droves the way they came out in 91. Mind you, Justice was there. But everything that Justice said was true.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
But I just think it's funny that not even 2 years later, they traded him. Now they did trade him for Kenny Lofton, and Kenny Lofton is one of my top 10 list of favorite players ever. I just love the way he played the game.
Mm.
Love the way Kenny Lofton played the game. But Kenny Lofton was here 1 year and he was out because he did not again get along with the culture of the Braves. I just thought this was interesting. We all know what that's about. We all know why he was traded. So yeah, Dominique Wilkins. The Atlanta Hawks traded Dominique Wilkins because they were looking to rebuild and felt they could get more value by trading him than by keeping him, especially with this contract expiring. The Hawks were also facing the potential loss of Wilkins in free agency without compensation. Additionally, the team felt that Danny Manning, who they acquired in the trade, would better fit their needs during the stretch run of the season. Boy, were they wrong! Boy, were they wrong! Eric, Debo, give me your thoughts, man. Give me your thoughts on this trade. Give me your thoughts on it. Like, How did you feel about it when it went down? Eric, I know you're a Lakers fan, but
They should have traded the Hawks.
should have kept Dominique and traded the
Yeah,
Hawks.
keep Dominique and trade the Hawks.
Damn. Okay. Okay. That's different. That is definitely different. That's definitely different. Yuri says how Dale still isn't a Hall of Famer is insane. Agreed, Yuri. Agreed.
Yeah,
Yuri says Neek should have never been let go. Yuri says, how's a Lakers fan? How is Eric a Lakers fan? Come on, sir. Go Hawks. I hear you. I hear
it's
you.
because I was born in Alabama, and before I moved here, I was a Lakers fan because
That's
when I was younger, and Terry remembers this when I was younger, all the black people went for the Lakers and all the white people went for the Celtics. So in Alabama, it was like you either or.
that's that's true.
So I don't
That's
switch teams. So when we moved here, now I'm really not a Hawks hater, but they always got something to say to me about my Lakers. So I'm also not gonna be quiet if you say something to me.
get it. I get it. Ryan says Prime and Inc. was linked to Fred Tokar. That's why they were let go. It was a way to not pay them. Found an easy way out. And that's
Exactly.
kind of what I was getting at earlier. And agreed. Agreed with that 100%. Agreed with that 100%. All right. Last but not least, Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman. The Atlanta Braves did not re-sign Freddie Freeman primarily due to a disagreement over contract terms, specifically the inclusion of a sixth year. While Freeman wanted to remain with the Braves, where he had played his entire career, negotiations stalled, leading the Braves to trade for Matt Olson from the Oakland A's. Freeman subsequently signed a 6-year deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Negotiation standoff. Braves and Freeman's agent, Casey Close, engaged in the contract negotiations, but a significant gap remained, particularly regarding the length of the contract. I believe Freddie wanted 6 years. They wanted to give him 5 or something like that. Braves' decision to move on after weeks of not reaching an agreement. The Braves decided to pursue other options, ultimately trading for Matt Olson, a younger first baseman, who was seen as a more cost-effective solution. Freeman reportedly felt blindsided by the Braves' decision to acquire Olson.
Hmm?
No, he felt blindsided because he didn't see the trade coming. As he expected to re-sign with the team, Freddie's agents, some reports suggested Freddie's agent issued an ultimatum to the Braves, uh, giving them a short deadline to accept a contract offer, which the Braves declined. Guys, 2 years later, did we make the right decision? Give me your thoughts. Deboe, let's start with you.
No, I mean he should have been a lifelong Brave. You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't know that thing. You said I'm looking at it. Said Freeman reportedly felt blindsided by the Braves' decision to acquire Olsen, as he expected to re-sign with the team. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Me
Yeah. Oh, that
neither.
was a big thing. That was a big thing. Yeah, he didn't. He did not. He fully expected to sign. Now, what I will say is Chipper tried to, because Chipper came out and said, "Look, I tried to talk to Freddie, and I told him he played it wrong." So that's coming from Chipper. That's coming from a guy that's been in this business. There are all sides to it, but yeah, Freeman felt blindsided. Carrie says hi, T-Will and Deboe. Salute. Carrie says, "Hey, Eric, Miss Carrie in
I
the
don't
building.
care.
What's going on?"
What's going on?
Yeah, man. So, Eric, Deboe, Eric, how do you feel about it? Wrong decision? Give me your thoughts.
Um, I don't think it was the wrong decision on the Braves part. I think Freddie did that. You try to play hardball, and well, your agent tried to play hardball. Whoever you want to blame it on it, but I don't think that was the Braves' fault. I think it would have been nice for him to be here a Brave forever. I would love to see that, but he did that. I
Yeah,
can't.
that's that's why that whole one ring right here about he felt he was blindsided. He wanted to be here.
Yeah,
And that's why I'm confused. I've never heard that before about him feeling blindsided that they signed that they acquired
Yeah, I don't
Olsen.
know where they come from. I thought
They
that happened
acquired
after he
Olsen. Yeah,
decided to leave.
yeah. That's one point. They acquired Olsen when the talks broke down. They knew he was going to leave.
Right. Why would you be trying to get Olsen before while negotiating?
No, and that's hey guys, my bad. We just got Ryan to join us. What up, Ryan?
What's going on,
What's
fellas? How
going
you doing?
What's
on,
happening,
man?
Going
bro?
on.
Ryan, first and foremost, man, we ain't been on a show in a while. I miss you, buddy. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I've been, running some shows myself, so I definitely understand the struggle, my brother.
Well, hey, man, it's good to see you. Let me tell you something, man. This shit feels like home now. I mean, I got my brothers Deboe and Eric here. I got my guy Ryan, man. Let's get into it. Hey, Ryan, Freddie Freeman. How you feeling about decision? Right decision, wrong decision? Give us your thoughts.
Freddie he should have never been let go. They should just went on ahead and paid him. I get that, but you got to look at it. Veteran stability, and you're seeing the fact that Freddie is still producing at a high level, and he's doing it with the Dodgers right now. So this one falls on Alex Anthopoulos and our cheap ass front office. That's what it
But they
falls on.
offered
And
it to
then
him. He turned it.
no,
They even offered it to him again,
they
and he
but
turned both of them down.
but here's the thing though. He wasn't gonna get that money. He was gonna get the money he wanted in LA. Now the taxes is what was gonna kill him. Atlanta just didn't want to give him what he wanted. And that's because Double A and his agent got issues. That's the reason why we also lost freaking Dansby Swanson, another one. So I'm just saying, Alex Anthopoulos is pretty much starting to become like the Art Modell of this city.
Well,
Difference is he lucked up into a championship.
is it Alex or is it corporate? Uh,
I gotta put the responsibility on Alex as well. Like, yeah,
Alex
you
won't
put
make
pieces.
decisions though. They do.
We understand that, but Alex also has a way that since he has a World Series championship in his back pocket, that gives him some equity to be able to open his mouth and say something.
Nah,
Just saying.
the
I,
stockholders making decisions.
yeah, and Ryan, I hear you. I respect you. Number one, you know I love you, but I feel like Terry McGuire. I feel like the upper Braves management was like, we're not, because it came down to a year, right? It came down to 1 year. Freddie wanted one more year. They refused to give it to him, and I think upper management was like, no, we're not doing that. We're just not
But
doing
two things,
that. Go ahead.
T-Will, two things can be true at the same
That is
time.
true. That
And
is
that's why I'm saying that I'm not absolving the upper management, because we all know that was where that came from. But we
right.
also know that Alex Anthopoulos plays a major role in this situation again, because think about it. You lost two superstars that you didn't want to pay, and they're balling out at their both respective clubs at this point, and they still had a lot of baseball left to be played. But we wanted to go in the cheap route, and Alex Anthopoulos did not want to fight to keep them dudes down, and he had problems with the agent. That's
But
obvious. Think about it.
they offered him a second contract that the agent didn't even tell Freddie about though.
And
Now,
that came
now
out of
that part is messed up. Now I'll say that part falls on his agent. But again,
But
Alex
how is that?
Anthopoulos,
How are we blaming Alex then if they if they offer him the contract he was looking for, but the agent didn't
but
tell him?
but here's the problem: that contract that Freddie had, that Freddie wanted, should have been offered first. It shouldn't have been a second type of option
The
like that.
first
It should have been
contract they
offered off
didn't
the bat.
lowball him on though. They really didn't even lowball him on the first one. That
But
first
I'm talking.
contract that they offered him with what he took right there did not make no sense. Cause you
I
finna pay the
gotta.
rest. You finna pay the difference in taxes.
So here's my question, because Cali taxes are a hell of a lot higher than Georgia taxes. You know that if you've
Exactly.
been and I know you've been out there. So this is my thing. Regardless, you see that Freddie brings a veteran leadership and a veteran presence to that locker room, and it literally was a stable. Freddie had that thing on lock and was respected. But all the stuff that Freddie had went through, and he was still producing at a high level, it was no way that Freddie should have been let go.
I,
You fight to keep a guy like that. Haven't we learned with
They did
Dominique?
though. That's
Haven't we
my
learned with
point. They
Dion?
did.
But
It's like trying to talk to a female that don't want you. It don't matter if you go buy her a new car and a house. If she don't want you, she don't want you.
But here's the thing, Freddie wanted
You
to stay
can't
in
make
Atlanta, bro.
somebody love you.
But here's the thing, Freddie wanted to stay in Atlanta. He didn't reject Atlanta. He wanted to be here.
No,
So
this was
I get where
Freddie's
you
doing.
coming from with that.
If Freddie wanted to be here, Freddie would have took that first deal.
Here's my thing. You also got to look at it like this. Freddie didn't take that because he wanted the time on that. And I understand why management did it. But here's my thing. How are we looking right now? He's still out there in LA and he balling and still killing it and just literally won a World Series last year.
One thing I will agree with you on, Ryan, and that is there's certain players that a locker room cannot stand losing.
And he was one of them.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Now again, as to the who, what, and why, look, we could argue that. I don't. I tend to don't. I'm gonna tell you why I don't blame Alex. I'm gonna tell you why. I believe Alex deserves a little bit of it, but the bulk of it, I'm gonna put on the Braves front office, and here's why. Um, Last year, final game, Braves make the playoffs. They're eliminated. Alex says
Mm.
we're okay with Soler and Acuna, Ozuna being on the same team. That's fine. First thing they do is trade him. Okay. Alex also says we're okay with the coaching staff. First thing they do is fire him. Alex also says, hey, the payroll is going to go up. It doesn't. I feel like Alex was set up going into the office and they telling him, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Because Alex has been here for 7 years and we've never known Alex to lie like that. And that said to me, at that point, Alex has no power when it comes to that, right? So I tend to feel like if you did it in that situation, you've probably done it with others. I agree. He probably should have fought a little harder to keep Freddie, but bottom line, they didn't. And I do feel
I
like
don't understand what else you're supposed to do to fight to keep Freddie.
um I feel like they should have given them the extra year to be honest with you, Eric.
They
I do.
did. They turned it down. That next deal was exactly what he asked for, and they turned that one down. Well, the agent turned it down. Freddie claims he never saw it.
Okay. Well, I guess sometimes
That's
it
why I
just
said you can't make somebody love you. You can't you can walk
But you
well
know what? But
you can
here's
see
the thing.
Beyonce. You can walk up on Beyonce and romance the hell out of
I,
her, and she still ain't gonna want you. That
I
ain't
put it to you
it ain't
like
nothing you can do.
I put it to you like this. And this is why Freddie will never be bad in my book. That man gave this ungrateful ass city everything he had. Even when we was horrible, this man was still balling. And is a well-respected player around the league. My thing is this. I'm gonna say it straight up. Us as Atlanta sports fans, we pick and choose what to be mad at and what not to be mad at this point. You get what I'm saying? And that's a dude I ain't gonna be mad at. I'm gonna keep
I'm
that a
not mad
book.
at him either,
You,
but he wanted to
I
leave.
get what you, but here's the thing though. But he caught a lot of hell for leaving too. And it's like, what y'all finna get mad for? The man helped deliver a World Series championship. This man could have left a lot earlier than he did in his prime when he was playing on bad Braves teams that didn't try to build up around him. And people still, and I'm not saying you, Eric, but you already hear the narrative with folks around Atlanta. Let's just be honest on that, bro. A lot of people still trash that man.
that's fair, guys. We gotta go because we got a lot to cover. It came up this week that the Braves should trade Ronald Acuna, or it was offered as an idea.
No,
I feel like that's 100% ludicrous. I feel like you'd be insane to do that. No, 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 no. I'm not going to say you'd be insane. I'm not going to say you'd be insane. What I will say is you have 3 years after this year with this man. So if you're going to trade Ronald Acuna, unless you're getting a Herschel Walker type trade, and for those of you who are not familiar with what the Cowboys got for Herschel Walker, I think the Cowboys ultimately got 10 players. Okay. So unless you're getting 5 number ones, 3 number twos, and a couple of number threes, you have 3 years left of Ronald Acuna. To put this in similar terms, Juan Soto got traded with a year and a half left, right? Did Ryan drop? I think he dropped. Hopefully he'll come back. Juan Soto got traded with a year and a half left. Ronald Acuna has 3. I don't know that there's a trade out there, or I don't know that you'd have to raid somebody's farm system. It may take 2 or 3 teams to do this, and I don't think it's worth it. But Deboe, I know you were on the show earlier. I know you have some opinions about it. Give me your thoughts on trading Ronald Acuna.
I mean, yeah. It is what it is, man. Like I said, Braves probably won't. The Braves gonna have to keep him. If for the Braves to keep him, they would have to go north of 45 million a year AAV. They're not
Yeah,
gonna do that. They're not
yeah,
gonna do it. Matter of fact, that's on the low end. They
yeah.
would have to
That
go 55. They have to go 55 a year AAV.
goes
They're not
6.
gonna do that or 60.
Yeah,
Now they gave, and when me, Smith, and Chris were talking the other day about it, they gave Austin Riley a 10-year, $212 million contract. You
hmm
would have to double that, more than double that for
you got
Acuna. They're not going to do that.
yeah, yeah. That's and that
And
is
so that's what I'm saying, bro. Like he's going to walk either way, and everybody look at me like I'm crazy and shit. He's going to walk. He's not going to be a Brave in 3 years.
well. So here's what, and I hear you. And Debo, I'm not gonna lie. The facts align with you. Knowing what we know about this corporately owned team, that is how they function. But there's some players that you make an exception for. I wonder, right, if they could structure it like Otani's contract. And Otani's contract is structured a little differently. So let me see if I can't bring that up and we see. Now, what I will give you is that's probably the only way the Braves would sign Acuna is if they did a deal like that. So let me see if I can't bring this up. This is gonna fit in the screen. Okay. Let me share my screen here. Sorry, guys, for the delay. Apologies. Do entire screen and there. So, this year, I think Otani's getting what, 2 million? No, that was 2024. 2025, he's getting 4 million. 2026, 6 million. 2027, 8 million. 2029, 10 million. And they've deferred money, as you can see, all the way up through 2043, right? So if the Braves were to do and can you guys see what I'm talking about when I say deferred money? Like right there, 2020, 34, 2035, all the way up to 2043, they've got to pay him 68 million. Can you guys see that on the screen?
No,
You cannot? It's right
I'm
there.
old. I'm old. On your screen,
Well,
that's
no,
big.
T-Wil, I totally get it. And like I say, this whole there's no reason for us to look at this contract because the Braves will never do that. You look at it right.
Right.
You look at this contract right here is over $700 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
The Braves ain't going. I don't even know why he gets pulled up. The Braves ain't going to do nothing. This scenario will not fit for the Braves.
Nah.
You talking about the LA Dodgers can do that because they got money and they choose it and they want to do that. So you pulling that up is nothing.
Yeah. Well, it was a thought. It's more so a hope. Look, you gotta grasp the straws here, right? Like,
Right, but it's okay. Let me ask you this question. Since you asked a question, let me ask you a question. What you pulled up? Do you think the Braves will actually do that? It's a simple yes/no question.
probably not. Probably
Okay, that's my thing.
not. Probably not.
I'm not trying. Hey, look. I ain't trying to kill Joyce. I ain't trying to kill. You know what I'm saying? I'm being optimistic. We're dealing with the
They're
Atlanta
not
Braves.
doing it.
We're dealing with the Atlanta Braves. So my question is this: would you want to trade him? Matter of fact, I'll ask right now, both of y'all. Would you trade him straight right now for Paul Skeens?
Uh,
Just straight up. Would you? I say, Eric, would you trade him for Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens? Just straight up.
No.
Okay. Okay.
You might have to give me Skeens and what's the guy that hits the ball 105 miles an hour that they've kind of fallen out of love with?
Okay, let me reposition that. Let me reposition that question. What scenario do y'all see where this man can actually get paid by the Atlanta Braves and someone else not come up here with backing up the Brinks truck to get him? Because that's what's going to happen once his contract over.
Yeah.
Club options for 27, 28. Of course, the Braves going to match it. They'll do a club option. After that, though, someone's going to back the Brinks truck.
Yeah.
We're not going to pay him. We never. Matter of fact, I'll ask y'all this question right now. Y'all tell me the last time the Braves actually paid somebody.
Oh, it's been a minute.
That's my point. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. You tell me when Braves actually paid somebody. So all of a sudden we're going to do with Ronald, what, a 30-year-old Ronald Acuna?
Greg Maddux, I think, got paid.
Okay. How long ago was that?
To your point, it's been
but that was before the stockholders. The stockholders ain't finna pay.
And the thing thank you, bro. Braves holders not gonna pay no fucking body. Hell, they're more interested in developing real estate across the street from Goddamn Truist Park.
Yeah. And that's your ownership group. That's fair. Oh, wait a minute. Craig says, "What up, Craig? What up, Craig?" Craig says last time was BJ Upton. T. Terry says Riley. T. Terry, that's
what I'm saying. That's not T. Terry. That's a 10-year, $212 million contract. That ain't shit.
Yeah, that average annual value is not over 22 million, and that's what we're talking about. Like they typically don't want to go over 22, 23 million dollars. And what Ronald Acuna is going to be worth if who was it? Soto got 800 million. With all his escalators or whatever, by 2028, Ronald will be offered 900 million.
Right.
Somebody will offer him.
Right. And so, of course, the Braves don't match that, right?
Nah.
No, that's what I'm saying. People look at me like fucking crazy. Ronald Acuna is not going to be here in 3 years.
They're not. I mean, it's just it's hard, man. That's hard to hear. But you're right. They probably won't. Craig says Frank Wren is still haunted by BJ Upton. Yeah, that was bad, man.
Yeah, that shit was bad.
That was one of the worst. That and Dan Ugla were probably.
Oh God!
No, they tried to pay Freddie. They might, depend on what he keep doing between here and then. They try to pay Freddie. Freddie chose to leave. If we're looking at the last time that they actually tried to pay somebody, they tried to pay Freddie. So, I guess if the player means enough, they will pay him.
Yeah. Now, I will try. See, it'll be interesting. I
don't know if they'll be able to match. Well, whatever comes in, just like what happened with Freddie, but
yeah, it'll be interesting.
They might attempt it.
All right, guys, it's time to shift. So. Hey man, a lot of folks have watched this Netflix show, QB show, Kirko Chains. It's brought up a lot of feelings about it now that we know what happened with Kirko last year, and we know that he definitely was hurt, as my brother and I often alluded to last year. So yeah, let's get into it. Draft night. Kirko was definitely irritated or agitated by the fact that we drafted Penix. There's no doubt about that. Some would say, hey, man, you signed the contract. You're not the owner of the team. Anything can happen. You're a veteran. You should know. Others might say, yeah, that might have been a little janky.
I mean, you're a 36-year-old coming off an Achilles. You should know off of that somebody's going to have a backup plan or your successor in place if they have you on the team. Anybody was going to do that. Nobody was going to put a 36-year-old coming off an Achilles with no safety net up under. That's just stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. No, it's not intermission. And like I said, I ain't watched not one second of this whole quarterback series. I ain't watched it. I have heard clips. I have heard clips of what he said, and I'm tired of Kirk Cousins. I'm just tired of him.
I will say this: it sounds worse reading it than hearing him say it. Hearing him say it sounds, when you're reading it, it sounds like he maliciously did everything.
Right? Yeah, but I've actually heard. I'm hearing the clips. I'm hearing him talk. I'm hearing him talking stuff like the main thing about it is that whole injury thing, and it's like he said, "Okay, this is shit that really made." I be like, "Okay, this is a bitch." He said he knew for a fact that if he sat down, he wouldn't get his job back, and he said verbatim, "I read a book by Doug Flutie that was given to me that said if you sit down, you'll lose your job. So you gotta keep fighting, and that's why he stay all those games and shit." That
Now he
Minnesota
said he
game,
learned from Doug Flutie. I
yeah,
think it's
he learned from no.
book.
He said, yeah.
Mhm.
So no, man, I like at this point, though, I don't trust a word he says. You know what I'm saying? The main thing that turned me off about Kirk Cousins is the way he taught a D-Led down in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the main things right there. When D-Led tried to talk to him, and he has goons like, "Don't talk to him," and then he turned around, and put on he turned around that Atlanta Falcons shirt, so the Falcons logo wasn't showing.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, man, I mean, he's a bitch.
yeah. I see. So, and Debo, I'm right there with you. It- Here's the thing. This really was like a tale of two seasons, and I got to do some housekeeping. T. Terry says, "I wish Ted Turner's family were the owners. They would have paid. Ted really loved the Braves." Agreed, T. Terry. I couldn't agree more. Yuri says, "I was misled by this fool throwing one TD and 9 interceptions.
Facts. Yeah, I was misled by that shit. Yeah, for sure.
Thinking my
Yeah, since Kirk Cousins talking about he felt misled. Oh, I don't know. When they drafted Penix, I felt misled. Yeah, we felt misled when your ass threw a gazillion interceptions in 1 month. Come on, bro.
That's fair." Craig says, "Kurt got 100 million reasons to
Shut the fuck up.
yeah."
Yeah, yeah,
Craig,
that's what gets me with Kurt. Man, shut the fuck up. Like
love
he didn't learn at the well, you already cost us a draft pick,
Yeah.
and then you still won't shut the
That's
fuck
what,
up.
bro. That's what I'm saying. This dude's not shutting up, bro. He's not shutting up, and he going, bro. Mark my words. He's going to say something, and the NFL's going to investigate it, and then somehow we're going to lose another draft. This dude talked.
See, this is my thing though. I don't think he's maliciously doing that though. I think he's just that fucking dumb that he just. And I don't think he's dumb. I think he's just ignorant to the
He's
fact
ignorant,
of
yeah.
shut the fuck up, man. I think he's
yeah.
just a big mouth motherfucker that I wouldn't commit a crime with Kirk.
Oh hell no, dude! It'd be a rap, man. He's singing like a bird against your ass,
I'm
dude.
telling you, I wouldn't steal.
Ain't no way in the world robbing the bank. This dude, man, it'd be a rap. My
Yeah.
thing is this though. Like I said, he's naive. He's
Bro,
looking at life through rose-colored glasses, bro.
Snicker bar out the gas station with Kirk. Kurt, Kurt is gonna pay. Hey, man, we could get caught for that. Right in the middle of while you're doing it loud as fuck.
You sure you want to do this? Hey, you sure you want to do this, bro?
Yeah.
Put that back. Don't do that. Nah, man, dude, man, for real.
You get to the counter and Kurt gonna ask you, "What about the Snicker bar in your pocket?
Yeah.
Are you gonna pay for that too?"
You want to take that Snicker bar out, bro?
Oh wow.
We're sorry, he has a Snicker bar. He's gonna take it out in a second. Yeah, you put That's Kurt. The dude talked to you that much, bro. That's a good point.
Yeah. But I don't think his talking is malicious. I don't think he's trying to be. Now the Super Bowl shit with D-Led, yeah, I think he was trying to do some malicious shit there. I think that was done on purpose.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
All the other shit, I don't think that was done on purpose. I think he's just fucking off or something. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Kurt in his head. Like, why would you come out and say, "Oh yeah, they reached out to me before the time"? What the fuck are you talking about, stupid?
And bro, and here's a scary.
You a seasoned veteran. You don't know that we not supposed to be talking to you before this time,
dude. Here's the crazy thing. He's not done yet.
Nah.
He can't help himself.
Yeah, see, as soon as somebody asks him something else, he's still gonna keep fucking talking.
You know what's interesting, right? And so here's the thing. Watching that show, it evokes so many emotions, right? The game against San Francisco, 509 yards. You know what's interesting is right up until
San Francisco.
I'm sorry. New Orleans. Sorry.
Tampa.
It's late.
New Orleans.
It's late.
He's talking about Tampa.
Oh, the Tampa Thursday night game, the Tampa game. Okay, yeah, Tampa game. Okay,
right. That game. But then the week before that, in week 4, He goes to the cookout. And what's interesting is, Kirko chains, going to Waffle House, swag surf. Kirk had really had us. You know what I mean? We were kind of in love with Kirk, and we were
Walking in
saying,
traps, taking over traps.
right, exactly. We were saying, "Hey, Kirk, we would invite you to the cookout. You're invited." And what's interesting is in this piece, he literally goes to the restaurant, the cookout, after Game 4 of the Saints, and I don't think that was lost on the producers of the show. I think they understand what's going on. I think they understand the culture in Atlanta, and I don't think they missed on it. But guys, this really was a tale of two seasons. Like
Hmm.
everything before week 10 was sweet. Kirk didn't have a good game against the Saints, but
Mm.
damn it, come week 5, right? Come week 5, Kirk goes off for 509
You
yards.
must have swag surfing. You know what I'm saying?
Flag,
Culture
sir.
vulture, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That all that shit was fake as hell.
And you know what, Debo? I can't I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I cannot, because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you're, you know, you can fall out with the team, but if you love Atlanta, there's certain things you're not going to do, right? Like Grady, had a disagreement with the Falcons, but what did Grady do? It took him a couple of days, but he came out and was like, "Look, man, I love Atlanta. Always
Mm.
going to love Atlanta." Da, da, da. There's just certain things if you love a city, you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. His actions subsequent to the season kind of lead you to believe that, what, it wasn't real. Because I'm gonna be honest, when he did that with D-Led, I felt disrespect. When
Mm.
he took that shirt off, gentlemen, let me tell you something. I love my city, man. I love my city. I've been here 52 years. I love my city. And for you to do that, like that sent shockwave. That cut me. I didn't. So yeah, Debo, I agree. I think it was a little disingenuous. I think Kirk does have a little bit of a culture vulture in him. But the other side of it is, maybe this whole process was frustrating for him. And I think it had to be. I think he just handled it poorly. Eric, I know what Debo and I think. Do you think Kirk was being disingenuous with the whole Waffle House swag surf thing? Or do you think he just really got pissed off with the Falcons afterwards and is handling it poorly? Give me your thoughts on that.
I think he got pissed off afterward because Kurt's been doing that shit. Like when he was in Minnesota, he was with the we was doing that when we first got
Yeah,
Kurt. We was on
that shit
doing
and the whole
the little
skull
Kirk
clap shit.
Cousins thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
He's doing
he's
skull
been
claps
doing
and
that
doing that little
shit.
thing. Yeah, running. Yeah, bro. Dog, yeah. He takes motherfuckers' culture and uses it against them. The same thing. The same thing up there. Same thing, like you said, bro. Up in Minnesota with skull clap.
Yeah,
That's our guy. Look at it. That's our guy. Walking around wearing flannel like they do up there. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fit in. Did the same thing here. You take a man going around wearing flannel and pickup truck up in Minnesota in winter time. All of a sudden now he's down here swag surfing.
Mm, that's fair. A1 says, yo, yo. Craig says T-Will already had Kirk invited to his cookout. And I did, Craig. You're right. I did. I had to
Yeah,
say,
everybody did, bro.
I did. I
Everybody did. If this shit start coming out, that's what it is.
had
Shit,
to fight it. I did. A1
something
says,
told me not to buy that jersey.
boy. A lot of people did, bro.
Something
no,
told me that wait.
Hey.
I was like, I'm waiting. I'm gonna see after this year if Kurt's still here or what
Mm-hmm.
Kurt doing before I buy that jersey.
Hey,
I
you're a
told
wise.
somebody
Hey,
that yesterday.
you're a wise
I was
man.
like, yeah.
You're a wise man, for sure.
look, hey,
I got a bunch of jerseys that I refuse to wear from jumping the gun buying jerseys, and some just told me
What's your main jump the gun
the
jersey? I already told Chris. Chris,
worst jersey.
yeah, your most jump the gun jersey you ever bought. He's like, man, why Brad's jersey for, man?
I'll let you be the judge. I have a tack jersey.
Oh god
I have
damn, yeah, bro.
I have oh wait, nah. I have
uh,
who else is bad? I have a Damn, I can't think. Marlon Davidson jersey. I have a
Wow.
damn. That's not even the worst one though. I got a damn. I just had it in my head.
Chris Moore,
I got a Vic Beasley jersey.
that wasn't that bad. Chris
Nah,
Moore had a jersey. I had the same jersey, bro, and we both agreed on it. That's the worst jersey. Well, I can't speak for him. I know it was for me. I had a fucking Peerless Price '81 jersey.
Damn.
I have a Kurt Bankert jersey.
Damn. Was he like a third string quarterback or something like that? What
Yeah,
was
he stuck up for black people on Twitter one time, so that's why I bought that jersey. I
okay.
actually talk to him every now and then on IG with inbox back and forth.
Don't he has a podcast? No, he has a podcast, right? Pretty good podcast. I think I saw one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. He's doing his thing in the podcast world, bro. I saw his podcast. I was real impressed.
Hmm.
Yeah, Kurt a cool dude.
Eric, I gotta ask you this, man, because we were
I
on another
mean,
show.
Kurt.
I gotta ask you this.
Kurt.
It's fine. I gotta ask you this, Eric, because we were on another show and you were like, you had 40 jerseys, and I'm saying no freaking way, no frick. So if you currently
It's
have 40,
somewhere around there.
if you have 40 jerseys, you've sold a lot of jerseys, because I've all my life you've been buying Falcons, so you've clearly gotten rid of some.
I'm guesstimating with that 40. I don't know exactly how many jerseys I have, but it's somewhere around 40. I think you just seen me in Falcons jerseys so much that it seems like I got 1,000 jerseys, but nah, the person I've seen with the most jerseys, Joe Allen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen nobody with more jerseys. Joe's got more than 100 jerseys.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, I gotta figure you've sold some over the years. I know you had that specialized Matt.
I sold some and gave some away, but I still think I got like 40 jerseys.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Julio pissed me off, I gave my homeboy one of my Julio jerseys. I still probably got like 4 of them.
Okay. All right. That's fair. So everything was great. Everything was all good. Oh, by the way, A1 says he's an actor to play a role. Bravo, take a bow, Kirk. Agreed. Craig says
There's
Tom.
one, there's this one jersey I had that got ruined.
I didn't mean to do it, Eric. All right. I did not mean to do it. Okay. And to be
then,
honest, you know what? I'm not
then
gonna
you don't even ruin the regular jersey. You ruin the shit that I can't find them.
No, no. Hold up,
I'm not,
hold up now. No,
you know
he's
what?
out there. What's the story?
Okay, here's the story. It wasn't even me, Eric. It was my oldest daughter, Mariah. Okay, who
Don't
spilled
try to
the.
blame me, right?
I the
You left
it
the
is.
kid.
It was her. It was her. Okay, I just took the charge because I was being a good dad. Because I would not ruin your jersey. Okay, it is my
Nah,
fault. So she asked me to wear it one day because she was going somewhere, and I was like, "Fine, but get it back to me." But then, you know, tragedy struck, and she spilled whatever she did on it.
What jersey was it?
So it was
oh,
a silver and gray Matt Ryan Falcons jersey. It was
it was the
sweet.
platinum Matt Ryan jersey that you can't find nowhere.
It was sweet.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't give a damn how much I love the hell of my son. If he did that shit, I'm putting some blame squirrel on his ass. Look, I'll be like, Eric, man, my son did that shit. I did not do that.
Oh wow!
Ain't
Oh
no
wow!
way in the world will follow. Hey, I get it, you know what I'm saying, as parents, you know what I'm saying? So, but you saying your daughter did, you didn't do that, and
Did it?
you started following the sword.
She did it. She did it. She did it. You know, but it's
I
just, I
mean,
mean,
honestly, it's a football jersey, and I wasn't finna get mad at nobody over
yeah.
ruining the
Right.
football jersey, whether it had been him or Mariah.
So
So,
here's the thing about my brother. We live so far away. Like he left it over here and we were like, "Hey, man, we'll just get it back to you." And we just never. The only time Eric and I see each other really are at Falcons games, right? And I just or Falcon events or whatever. And I or whatever, but we never linked up. And I was like, okay, I'll get it to you, I'll get it to you, I'll get it to you. And Mariah ended up borrowing it and whatever happened, man. But yeah, man, that was the story. Craig says top two jerseys that you can't get rid of right now, Kirk and Pitts. A1 says Peerless Price is the worst Falcons jersey. Craig says T-Will got that Waffle House jersey and proud of it. Proud of it. So guys, let's get to week 10 because really this was our season right here. Kirk was feeling the offense. We're starting to make progress, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt, and it's downhill from there. I think what he did with the injury was really selfish. Deboe, Eric, give me your thoughts. I think you should have just been honest. And I think that was the beginning of the end. Eric, Deboe, give me your thoughts on that.
I
I
agree.
think when it first happened, I don't think Kurt knew it was that serious. But I think he knew it was that serious before anybody else did, and he should have took himself out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think because that's like you remember when we was at that park and we was throwing, and I told you I felt something pop in my shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't want to throw the ball no more because I could feel the pinch.
Yep.
He felt that. If I knew that right then, you can't power through that. It's not just it hurts. Let me just you took something out of your arm.
Right.
You can't throw the ball as hard no more.
Right. Right.
And that was just my shoulder. Kurt's shoulder and elbow was hurting. So you can't get the ball out. I even said exactly what he was doing last year when he kept throwing interceptions. I'm like, his eyes. I remember I told you that. I said his eyes is faster than his arm is.
Yeah. Well, the way
he can see it.
The way you put it, and it's exactly the way he put it, was that he was coming off a leg injury. So even though his leg really was up under him, it really wasn't up under him because it was kind of like trusted.
He was already compensating for that with the arm strength. But then now you have no arm strength, so you can't even you can't compensate for. Why are you still in the game? Perfect. You knew better than this.
Perfect analogy. The way you put it was beautiful, and that's exactly what he said. In the documentary, that's 100% what he said. So I agree with you.
And I love Raheem, but I put some of the blame on them too because they had to see that. Because if we seeing it,
that's the point.
If we seeing it and we not there, you gotta see it,
bro. We are simple NFL fans.
Yes,
we're seeing the shit.
Yes,
right.
We're seeing it. You mean to tell me you got all the resources in the world? Money's not even an object. Money's nothing to do with anything. They have all the resources in the world. Got the best of everything in a facility. The best doctors, the best everything, the best therapists, top notch world class.
I don't even think it got to a doctor though. I don't think it got to a doctor because Kurt. I mean, you took a hit and came to the sideline and was like, "Yeah, I feel a little something, but I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good."
Right.
And if he's telling you he good, this ain't a concussion where they finna go back and check you out. This ain't he ain't roll an ankle where they need to go check him out.
I'm thinking about something right quick.
He's still walking fine and all of that. Yet the ball, he threw an interception, but he's still physically throwing the ball. So I don't think they looked at it like he ain't got a broken arm. He ain't got it. So we don't need to X-ray because it ain't a broken bone. He ain't sprained nothing. But as far as they know, he can still throw a ball.
But to your point,
I think it might have took them longer to catch on that he was hurt. I think Kurt knew how serious it was before anybody else did. But
bro,
I do
like
think it came
we
to a
saw
point
it.
where
We were regular fans. Yeah,
right.
Sure.
That's why I said I do think it came to a point where they had to know.
Agreed. Well, look if it's me, that San Diego game, I'm pulling him out.
Now let me say this: I don't think they pulled him out when they should have because I don't think Penix was where they wanted him to be with knowing the offense. I don't think they was willing to stick him out there before that. Even that, I think they was willing to let Kirk ride it out until we get him all the way ready to where he knows this offense good enough to where it's not where you're not gonna have people questioning they got two bad quarterbacks. One of them got hurt, and now the other one can't even step in. Well, what was the point of them drafting him up high for? I think you was gonna get that if you stuck him in before he really knew the offense. I don't think it was a question of his skill level or reading the defense. I think it was they wanted him to 100% know that offense.
Agreed, but I would have pulled him in that look it. You can look at that throw, that sideline throw where that cornerback. My grandmother could have thrown a better pass.
He literally threw it to the cornerback.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was.
Hell, the damn cornerback. The corner looked surprised.
Yeah, but see what's going to happen. What happens is if you leave Kurt in, and then in a couple of weeks stick Penix in, you still got a job. If you stick Penix in too early, and then he starts doing it too, and now so you got to go back and tell Arthur Blank that I spent over $100 million on somebody that can't come back in, and the person that I drafted in the first round, he ain't doing that hot neither.
I get it. I understand.
Now you might lose your job.
I get it, but me personally, I'd have stuck Penix in there in that Chargers game and ran the damn ball, and I'd have thrown bombs. And with that arm he's got, I'm taking my what I would not have done, because Kirk clearly could not throw, and it got so in his head that last play. If the Falcons kick a field goal where he throws that interception, we're on the 10 or 20-yard line. You got 3 minutes left and you're down by 1 point. There's no excuse for that. I would have yanked him in that game. Unequivocally, I would have yanked him, because that pass that he threw to the sideline, literally, my grandmother, who's no longer with us, could have thrown better. My mother, who's no longer with us, could have thrown better. Like that you could see he was injured. And I feel like, and I get what you're saying, Eric. I respect what you're saying. I would have pulled him. Bottom line, and I agree with Craig, Kirk's pride in being selfish cost us our season. And it kind of did, because and Eric, where I agree with you, I don't think the doctors got involved, and they probably should have.
Yeah, I think that's Kurt's fault that the doctors didn't get involved, because, like I said, I think he came to the sideline on some I'm fine shit.
Yeah. And look it, man, you're either a team player or you're not. It's unfortunate, but this shows that people don't always make the right decision, right? Because if he really cared about the team, he would have said, we need to take a look at this. And you know what? He could still have a tear in there. When you talk about an elbow and a shoulder and velocity, I mean, we don't know if he's got a torn rotator cuff. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened in that, because there wasn't an MRI done. Right. So, I agree with you, Eric. I do. I think the doctors, if it's me after that San Diego game, I'm going to demand that Kirk go get an MRI. I'm going to take it out of his hands. No, let's take a look at it. And I still don't know if they did that. And again, maybe they did that, to your point, Eric, because they felt like Penix wasn't ready, but I would have done it. At that point, you got nothing to lose. I would have done it.
But you do your job.
Yeah.
If you put Penix in there before he ready, and now you got to explain why you spent all this money on the quarterback and the first round draft pick, and neither one of them are working out, then you got a whole different animal than just Kurt ain't working out. Kurt ain't working out. All right. We already got the backup plan for that. Don't worry about that. The quarterback room, the money's still the same, and we got a quarterback. We ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
We ain't make the playoffs, but we still got a quarterback. We didn't make the playoffs, and we don't have a quarterback, is a whole different story. After you just spent all this on two quarterbacks, so we missed the playoffs and you still didn't get it right?
Yeah.
How we gonna make the playoffs next year then? Because you got both of these quarterbacks still here that ain't working.
Good
It,
question.
it wouldn't have been explainable. Raheem would be out of here if he'd have stuck him in there too fast and he didn't work. Now, I agree with you that I think Michael Penix would have worked. I'm saying what I think they were. I don't think he was where they wanted him at with the playbook. I don't think it's a question of his talent. I don't think it's a question if he knows how to read a defense. I think they wanted him to 100% know their playbook before they put him in.
That's fair.
But I don't think they wanted to come out and say that. And I don't know where he was at with the playbook, but that's just from me looking at it. That's how it felt to me. Like they wanted him more ready than that. That's what I'm guessing.
I
But
agree.
again, they ain't talked to nobody. Ain't nobody told me that shit. I'm just guessing. So
No, I look. I agree with you 100%. It was an ugly situation just because of the politics and the view. I think the plan was, look, we're going to sit Penix maybe a year and a half, maybe two. If Kirk gets us to a Super Bowl, fine. At least we can make a playoff run and then we can turn it over. And with Kirk getting hurt, I think the collective opinion was if the general public sees Penix play, there's no way you can put
he
Kirk
ain't
back.
coming back in.
Right.
Right.
Right. And I think that was the catalyst for all of this, and it's unfortunate. So hey guys, I appreciate everybody joining. This has really been fun. It is a little late in the hour, so we're gonna cut it at this point. I do got let me see. T Terry says Kirk was so afraid of MPJ he was having a panic attack, losing his job in his wife's city, and that's fair. That's true. Craig says this is why I don't give a blank about his feelings because he was a selfish and he was, and that's fair. Eric, I know you say that these folks can find you at the bins. What section can they find you in, brother? What section can they find you in?
101.
101.
101. Right
I hear
behind that statue.
I hear that. I hear that. Deboe, you guys put on a great show Tuesday night, brother. I meant to tell you that. Great show. Really enjoyed you and your cast, and of course Yuri. Shout out to everybody, man.
That
Great.
was actually last night.
Was it? Was it? What? Okay. All right. Well, I know I watched it, but isn't it typically Tuesday night?
Yeah, we had to move it up.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, so the reason we had to move it up because Yuri and Miss Angie, they were in rap. Well, Yuri was already in Vegas. Miss Angie was in Brisbane and brought to Vegas, so we had to move it up to accommodate. But nonetheless, it was a great show. Nonetheless, though, man.
It was a great show, and I got to tell you, man, great show. Enjoyed it. Just wanted to give you your flowers on that. Tell these folks where they can find you, Debo.
Oh man, shit. Debo Vibes on YouTube, man. The real Debo Vibes on Instagram. Debo Vibes on TikTok. Debo Vibes on X, man. I definitely stress everybody go to Smitty's Sports Machine. We had discussed the whole Kenya trade scenario. It was a fiery chop top conversation, man. A lot of people had their opinions on it, and I would really suggest if you want to see real Atlanta Falcons, I'm not what Atlanta sports talk in reference to touchy situations like Atlanta, like Ron Cooney Jr. being traded. Go to Smitty. Like I said, me, Chris Tipmore, and Smitty, we have a conversation for about 90 minutes, man, talking about our take on should Ron Cooney be traded. And it was very provocative, man. And check it out. You know what I'm saying, if you can. And like your boy here, check out Debo Vibes yesterday. Big time shout out, you know what I'm saying, to my twin brother Debo Life. Big time shout out to Miss Angie, my homegirl. Huge shout out to Yuri. Yuri, genuine dude. One of the best episodes we had, man. We talking about Vegas, man, and talking about the Nines and stuff. And next week on my show, I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be one or two. We're going to talk about the 1990s Miami Hurricanes, or we're going to talk about the iconic 1990s sitcom in living color. You know what I'm saying? So,
Fun.
yeah, we probably do in living color, man. You know what I'm saying, though. And of course, the foodie videos, man. The foodie video coming soon. By the way, speaking of foodie videos, it ain't gonna happen this week. Probably not next week. But check out your boy Deboe Vibes, and Eric Parker. Eric Parker, like, what the fuck you talking about, Deboe? I'm telling you right now, what I'm fucking talking about, boy. We going fingers, dog. We going to fingers.
All right.
Feel me? We're doing video fingers.
I just went up there yesterday.
We doing fingers, boy. Eric Parker is like, Deboe, you got to check out Fingers in Snellville. I said, what, man? I don't know my finger, man. I said, he was like, I want to show you. So he sent me like a video. I'm like, oh, damn. He's like, yeah, that's fingers. We're going to do fingers, dog. So get ready for it. Eric Parker, Deboe Vibes. Video coming for fingers. A foodie video, boy. Y'all get ready for it. Stand up for it and see how we do it on the east side, man. Even I'm on the south side. But that damn one, I'm going to be on the east side, goddamn. South Gwinnett. Let's get it. Fingers.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, man, I can't wait. One thing about Deboe's foodie videos, man, Deboe doesn't disappoint. And look, I've gone behind him and tried out some of those restaurants, man. They were pretty damn good. I still got to get to that Mexican one. I'm trying to convince my wife to let me. But what's going to trip me up? You got
to listen to your doctor. You got the doctor who thought
you're not supposed to be eating none of that shit.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, listen to the doctor who thought I was your son. Listen to him.
You're never gonna let that go. You are never gonna let that go, and I can't blame you. I can't blame you. So, just so you guys know, right? Oh shit! What did I drop on here?
He about to take all kind of medication. Look at. Oh.
I got soup here from Chick-fil-A, so I'm trying to stick to it. Now it's not it. God damn it, Brave. Ah shit! It's 4-4. Braves were at 43. Bullpen. Oh, Dylan Lee. Dylan Lee. Well, we got to talk about the Braves next week, Deboe, and the trade deadline moves we got to make. But I'm not about to get into that today. They're gonna give me a headache. But yeah, that's soup. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Hey, double salute, man.
I'm giving it the
follow Dodgers orders, bro.
Hey, man. But damn, man, boy, when you did that damn Mexican, whoa, boy.
Yeah, them Texas nachos, boy. Oh them Texas nachos.
You need to get you a piece of grilled chicken and a salad.
Yeah, and a rice cake.
Ah!
Go and get your rice cake, T-Wil.
Rice cake. Get you some fruit, man. Cake. You want something sweet? Get you some fruit. Go get you a watermelon.
Yeah, get you some kiwi, fool.
Bro, I want some of that damn Texas nachos, man. That shit delicious. Oh my god. Oh, anyway.
You can live. Hey, like I said, you can live vicariously through me, bro.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to live through you and Eric. But no, hey, everybody who joined us, thank you so much, guys. We will be back tomorrow. It'll be myself, Deboe, and Jordan for our Friday night NFL show. Deboe's got a segment. Jordan's got a segment. I've got a segment. I think you're gonna like tomorrow's show. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Also, Jordan and myself are doing the Justice League movie. It's 4 hours, so we'll break up our movie review into 2 days. Tomorrow we'll go 6 to 8, and then guess what? Deboe will hop on, and we'll go 8 to whenever from our show. And then Saturday, Jordan and I will complete the Justice League movie review. We'll go 6 to whenever. So check us out here at For My ATL Sports 1 and For My ATL Movies 1. Eric, thank you for joining us. Deboe, as always, enjoyed doing this with you, brother. Thank you to Mr. Jack Spade and Eric Parker for giving me a shot in this business. I got to do nothing but thank God. To everybody in the chat who joined. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to spend the time with us. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys have a great night. Good night, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you just watched another entertaining and interesting For My ATL Fans Sports 1 show. If you enjoyed the show, please let T-Wil know by hitting the like, share, and subscribe buttons. T-Wil would have brought you this message himself. This guy doesn't know how to keep it short and simple, not to mention that outrageous laugh. Anyway, tune in next time and have a great day. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.